Africa's financial sector has over the 3 decades undergone reforms like liberalization, and these have birthed stronger and more influential institutions over economic policy and outcomes. According to Alvin Moisoma, the executive director of Tax Justice Network Africa, this has implications. He describes this as financialization of the economy.
What we are seeing globally, and particularly in many African countries, is that finance has become largely speculative. So you have a situation where finance in its essence is really used for speculative purposes and not for the purpose that it was meant to. And this is what we mean by financialization. So on one side, the role of finance is growing significantly, but the function that this finance plays in our general economy is more destabilizing.
He says African economies are characterized by high levels of informality and that this setting could be detrimental to the sector.
When this informal sector are not able to tap into finance, then they become prey to unregulated finance. They become prey in terms of accessing loans at very, very high interest rates, which basically impedes the ability to formalize and makes the cost of doing business more generally very high.
Financialization to some extent has resulted in a prioritized fiscal system based on supporting the global economic market over African welfare. And that's the narrative that we need to disrupt, change, and target so that we can achieve what we call African socialism, as our predecessors were already fighting for at the time we gained independence in the 1960s.
Proposals were also made on how African governments could handle the situation.
I think there is a responsibility that many of our governments have to come in with policies that regulate finance and ensure that finance as a sector is playing a more important role in terms of acting as the facilitator or the oil in the engine of economic growth and business development.
Story by Benon Ojambo for the news.